mentioned that you met Michael Jackson in 2009.
Yeah. If I had not met him after the Oscars, I would have fainted maybe.
He also mentioned that maybe he'd like to collaborate with you.
Yes, so he said we should do the next We Are the World.
Like an anthem is needed as well right now.
I don't know whether the anthem, people are ready to listen to anything. We just have to pray for peace. Politics separates people sometimes. I think art unites.
What's the importance of upgrading anything yourself as an artist?
You get too comfortable painting with the right hand, try the left hand.
Now Punjab, Diljit is singing this in arenas all across the world.
Diljit's, that song, that line came out just probably around a month before we handed over the masters.
Okay, Chabra came up with that disclosure that Rahman disclosed to him that maybe he is not getting as much work from Bollywood.
I heard 2-3 stories that somebody mentioned my name and then said no, I'll finance this movie and I'll get you 5-6 other people to do the stuff.
Shahrukh Khan and Aamir Khan, the experience of working with them in one word.
The first Hindi movie which I was supposed to compose was with Shahrukh, called Shikhar, but it didn't take off. With Aamir, of course, Rangila was life-changing. Our work is almost like a treasure for me because I'm just representing and we have a collective people putting their hearts out.
Old school instruments or modern digital tools, which do you prefer using?
Interesting.
Guru or Yuva, which Mani Ratnam film and better music according to you?
Better music?
According to you.
Hey, this is Rahman. You're watching Connect Cine with Faridoon. Stay connected.
It's a huge privilege to have Rahman sir with us here in Vancouver on Connect Cine. So welcome on Connect Cine.
How are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How are you doing?
I heard you moved here, right?
Yes, sir.
How's the place?
It's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. You had a sold-out show last evening. My first question to you will be that are you enjoying the fall colors in Vancouver?
Yes, actually, I was a bit sick and I had a running nose and cough and all this stuff, but I kind of made it yesterday. Yesterday was better.
Right.
I was taking some warm water.
Right. And you enjoyed
Yeah, I always like this place. It's something good. This in Melbourne.
Right.
Both are very similar to me. When I go there, I enjoy it.
That's amazing, sir. All right, sir, last time when we spoke, we spoke about a possible collaboration between you and Taylor Swift. And the next thing we know that it was trending on Twitter.
Oh, God.
Sir, would you, I've been thinking all day, I would love it if you could possibly collaborate with maybe Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish, yeah. I think right now, because mostly I do movies, movie soundtracks.
Right.
The band, the meta band which I formed, The Secret Mountain.
Right.
For that, I think maybe we have a lot of, because most of the songs are in English in that one.
Right.
We are doing the album, maybe the band might collaborate with them.
Yeah, I think that'll be beautiful because I think the musical sensibilities in many ways, I think they match. The melody, I think, is...
I think Billie Eilish is, as an artist, you see that she's a very old soul.
Right.
And the things that she picks up, it doesn't come easily for any young kid. You know that she's grown up with wisdom.
Right.
And the choice of words and the things she attempts is really, there's something switched on.
Right. Fantastic. Okay, and so I was just watching one of your interviews and you mentioned that you met Michael Jackson in 2009.
Yeah.
That must have been, I think, quite an experience. Maybe one of the best experiences of your musical career.
Actually, yes. But if I had not met him after the Oscars, I would have fainted maybe. But I was in such a high, the whole world, India, and you saw all the press and everything. I met him a day after that. So I could keep up I also got an Oscar, 2 Oscars.
Right.
I'm meeting Michael Jackson. So I think he is one of the artists, even now, is unparalleled. Right. His vision for music, his voice, his dance, all in one.
Right.
People have, one part of him, but not all together, like how visionary, kind person who took, kids loved him. At that point, I just remember the charity aspect of his thing, giving back to the society. And So meeting him was, and strangely he had followed what I've been doing. He talked about J.O. and the
Right.
cause. I think people have talked about me to him,
Right.
and so it was a mutual conversation. It actually ended because I had to go.
Mm.
Otherwise, we were just there hanging out for like 2-3 hours.
Right. And he also mentioned that maybe he'd like to collaborate with you.
Yes, so he said, these are his words. Like we should do the next We Are the World. That's what he said.
Right.
And then when I went back, Mr. Shankar was doing Endiran,
Right.
right, the robot,
Mm.
part one.
Right.
And he said, "Oh, you met Michael Jackson. Why don't you guys do a song together?"
Right.
And I called him the next day. He picked up the phone. Yeah, whatever you say. So we met him again, and he was getting ready for his tour. Yeah, and then this happened. So
So and then like yeah,
4-5 months later.
passed away. Right. Okay. And so in the last interview we spoke about We Are the World and the sort of world that we live, and maybe like an anthem is needed as well right now.
I think the world. I don't know whether the anthem people are ready to listen to anything.
Mm.
I think we just have to pray for peace. We just have to pray for peace, and it's a very strange world, strange situation. We all know that, but I think we have to try and shine bright now. We have to. Music has to shine bright. Art has to shine bright, and because these are the things which bridges people.
Right.
Politics separates people sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I think art unites.
Right. What is the role of art according to you in such times?
As a composer, I think when I started, it was to give something new, and whatever I learned, I wanted to present it in a way, and my vision was to how to elevate film music or the music which I was doing to a better quality of recording or production or lyrics. So my main motive was to see whether people listen to our music from different countries, because
Right.
I used to listen to music of different countries. So
Mhm.
vice versa should happen, and it kind of happened.
Right.
And then, September 11th happened.
Right.
And then I realized, and by then I was like, this is enough, I've done enough music, 10 years. And the new reason for doing music, the motivation for music changed. That why can't music be a bridge? No, why can't? And then it became, 10 years later, it became like, why can't we educate and nurture a younger generation? So it shifted from 10 years to 10 years to 10 years.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So talking about Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones had a very important role in his career.
And that Quincy Jones has come to our place in LA.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
he's a lovely person.
Absolutely. And when he produced Bad, I think he was in his late 50s, but I think the music, it was so vibrant. The music production was absolutely very, very vibrant. How do you look at the contribution of maybe someone like Quincy Jones in is it Michael Jackson's career as well as the world music? Because maybe the best work of Michael Jackson was with Quincy Jones.
I think what happens is when you have the vibrancy and you have experience and wisdom combined,
Right.
then there's magic. And then they're all not in a conflict.
Right.
I think that's the time when there's a lot of respect between both Quincy and Michael Jackson.
Right.
And sometimes you outgrow and you want to do something else. Nothing wrong with it. You just outgrow, you want to do something else. But at that point when both of them collaborate, it was definitely phenomenal.
Right. And so many of your fans would want to know that when is it that we're going to have the next Grammy and Oscar from A.R. Rahman, sir?
My intention was not to win anymore,
Mhm.
but it could be. Like we're submitting from now, since I'm doing the meta band, the music of the meta band,
Right.
and because there's so much of tick box you have to, like the Goat Life,
Mhm.
which I did for Blessy. We released 4 tracks, and because it was 1 minute less or something, it didn't qualify for the Grammy entry.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so that could have, because people love the soundtrack of that one. And I don't think I put PS1 and PS2 into the list last year and the previous year. Don't think we entered that one.
Right.
But it all depends on its kind of things coming together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As a, what's the importance of upgrading anything yourself as an artist, and what's the importance of excellence as far as you're concerned?
Upgrading is like, I always put myself as a listener.
Mm-hmm.
And even sometimes, you just listen to the same thing. Even if it's the best, it gets boring. So you need to change your whole thing. Sometimes you just do completely opposite. Like there was a famous quote, I don't know by whom. They said, if you get too comfortable, painting with the right hand, try the left hand.
Wow.
Just makes you uncomfortable and something else would come.
Yeah.
So I believe that stuff. Sometimes I compose on the keyboard, sometimes just on the rhythm track, sometimes just on the vocal. So it's not the same way. There's no same tradition of doing the same thing. It changes.
Right. And I was watching one of your earlier interviews, and you mentioned that when Roja came out, you felt that maybe this is your last film because you had been doing programming for many movies many years before that as well, and you were completely just, I think, saturated in terms of being in the recording studios. Where does the excitement come in you in terms of just keep on creating something new?
I think working with new directors sometimes, and I first asked them when they come to me, I said, why are you here?
Okay.
And because I like this, I like this. So if they say, let's create something new, that's always a good thing. But if they say, I want something like what you did before, then it normally ends up bad.
Right, of course.
If you are here to explore and find what is there, which the movie requires, I think it always ends up beautifully. It ends up in something which people love. Even now, recently. If they come and know, I want you to do what you did in the 91, 92, 93, it doesn't go. Because the people have changed, the sensibilities have changed.
Right.
And the photographic memory of the music which you have at that point of time, what people have lived their lives when they were young, or, the innocence of their minds, that's changed.
Mm.
So, the music I do is what I would like to do. From the beginning, the same thing. What do I want to listen to myself now?
Yeah.
How much have I evolved and how much I have to unlearn sometimes and learn sometimes.
Right.
And the newer lot of singers, lyricists, directors, they inspire a lot. And
Right. So
I look at their eyes and I can see what is necessary, right? So,
right. So you've in a way also maybe unconsciously mastered the art of having hook lines as far as your song is concerned, be it Chaiya Chaiya, be it Jai Ho, be it Urvashi Urvashi, many more which have been there. Have there been any occasions when music directors, film directors have come up and requested that that we need that
hook line.
Chaiya Chaiya hook line sort of hook line?
No, yeah. So that part of me got developed because of the jingles.
Okay.
89 when, because the jingles were like 20, 30 seconds and you need to grab them. And so it was always like, what is a hook? What are people going to sing back? So this is the common brief by every agency which used to come.
Right.
That time, like 3-4 years when I was in jingles. And that is a good thing to adapt in movies, right? So I said, why can't we take that and expand it more? So that's how, that hook came in, or Hamam, or Mustafa,
Right.
even now Parma Sundari,
Of course.
and Sandak, and
Right.
little.
Right. So many of
Just
them.
got
So many of them actually.
But because
And
I think
Main Hu Punjab.
Main Hu Punjab. So it's also the repetition actually subliminally, subconsciously becomes a earworm sometimes. Sometimes it becomes irritating.
Right.
So you have to find what is irritating, what is a earworm. And sometimes you keep listening to it, you feel like, it's so annoying. Let me not listen to it. We'll repeat it so many times.
Right.
So it's finding the thin line, splitting the difference.
Right. Okay. So, um, many a times people have this notion that you have this very shy personality, and you've had some of the biggest dance numbers to your credit, and they are like naughty in terms of even the music arrangements the way it is. Where does that element of fun come in, dear Rahman?
I'm shy uh, because I think born in maybe because of the way I grew up with sisters and fatherless. Maybe because of that, because there's no common celebration in my house. It was always constant to challenge, um, to come up with solutions for many things,
Right.
right? So there was no, okay, now Saturday, Sunday, we're going to go outing, we're going for a movie, because you're in a movie already,
Of course.
movie industry.
Right.
So maybe because of that. And but when you take a role of a composer, you're an entertainer. Really. You're playing, you're actually acting different emotions within you. It could be a person who's lamenting, who's singing a lullaby, who's dancing,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
Who's singing a rebellious song. You're playing multiple part of composition, so you need to literally be that person to compose.
Right. Absolutely.
Imagine that person.
Right. So we're talking about Meho Punjab. Diljit is singing this in arenas all across the world. How do you look at the fantastic response that this song gets all across?
I personally think it was a great experience working with Diljit and Imtiaz Ali, Shah, Mohit Chauhan. And because I've never done a movie like this,
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to do Punjabi and Punjabi album because of the potency of the language
Right.
and because of my influence with Nusrat's subs, Qawwalis and stuff. And I always believe that the Punjabi music is more than Bhangra.
Right.
You know, sometimes you just see people see that Punjabi is just Bhangra music, but then nowadays kids are doing some really cool stuff. You know,
Right.
they're producing it. But I feel there's much more to Punjabi music, and the reason Chamkila worked out is we sat in a room and we wanted to do something, have the core elements of Punjabi music and take it much more further
Right.
because of the movie requirements.
Right.
More like a musical.
Right.
And Daljit's, that song,
Mm.
that line came out just probably around a month before we handed over the masters.
Oh,
The memo, because it never existed before. Suddenly, Imtiaz came up with the line. Can we have this line? So it's a great idea. It gives a significance and an identity to the song.
Right. Well, I think this personification is so
Yeah.
beautiful. So you've collaborated with, say, you did Punjabi music. You've obviously from Tamil, so you've been part of some amazing South Indian language films as well, and Bollywood as well, and English, Chinese, and
Parsi.
I'm sure so many more that I'm not aware of. So my question to you is that as we discussed in the beginning, we live in a world where there's so many divisions in terms of that we belong here. The boundaries are being demarcated, and an artist comes up and he's composing songs in various languages, cultures, traditions, and just completely respecting that. How important is it for you as an artist to just communicate that element of unity through your art in this manner?
All of us have, we live in an age where there's something from each country. There's something from China, there's a technology from America, there's something from, we speak English from the English people, and there's something from Africa, there's something from India. Nobody is, like everything belongs to my land, everything came from my land, so nobody's allowed to come here. Nobody can say that now. We all belonged everywhere. Our ideas are passed over. Yoga has become so big. We have McDonald's, we have KFC, and so it's multicultural. All of us are multicultural. So we can never say that, oh, we have to draw the line here, and this is what else. The world is one. And if you're sane enough to think like that, the only things which we rejoice is the sharing we do,
Wow.
not what we take.
Absolutely.
I feel
As I was mentioning you in the beginning that I was watching one of the interviews of Karan Thapar sir, and he mentioned that one of the toughest interviews that he had was with A.R. Rahman, because you speak less whatsoever. But over the years, what has happened is we noticed during Dil Bechara when Mukesh Chabra came up with that disclosure that A.R. Rahman disclosed to him that maybe he is not getting as much work from Bollywood. Many of the people from within the industry, Bollywood, they have this perception that he's so big, he's doing all these Hollywood projects, maybe that he's not approachable whatsoever.
no, I think I'm getting.
And the fact that maybe you don't say that much, maybe
no, I
people
think,
have certain perceptions.
At that point of time, I felt like that because I heard 2-3 stories that somebody mentioned my name and then said, no, I'll finance this movie and I'll get you 5-6 other people to do the stuff. But anyway, but I'm very happy working with the people I'm working now. And the freedom which I have now is to do good movies. Like I'm doing an Imtiaz movie, a Mani Ratnam movie. It's very satisfying. And other big movies which I can't speak about now, but
Right. And in Bollywood as well?
yeah. So it's my plates are full, and very, very challenging movies. Something which I'm proud of working.
Fantastic.
And I have enough time to do my own experimental things, like
Amazing.
meta band. And
Of course. So rapid fire with A.R. Rahman. Say your favorite Mani Ratnam movie soundtrack that you've done.
Roja, because that defined me. And whenever I have a block and I feel like I'm done, I always remember Roja, because Roja never existed before in me. It came because of Mani Ratnam, the script, the inspiration, and the willingness to explore. So whenever I have a block, whenever I feel like negative, people make me feel negative or something, I go back and say, that came with nothing, so things can come now.
Okay. If you can define, like, say, Shahrukh Khan and Aamir Khan, the experience of working with them in one word. You had some of their biggest works, like Swades, and obviously they'll say Shahrukh sir, Rangila and Rang De Basanti with Aamir and more, Lagan, of course, whatsoever. So if you can describe the experience of working with Shahrukh and Aamir in one word.
I think the first Hindi movie which I was supposed to compose was with Shahrukh, called Shikhar, but it didn't take off. Yeah. So Ishq Bina was actually composed for Mr. Guy, who casted Shahrukh for Shikhar.
Okay.
So there was a connection between Shahrukh and then of course what happened to Dil Se, which became one of the biggest blockbusters for me. Even now, when people regard that as one of the biggest soundtracks I've done. Then Swades is one of the movie which even now resonates, where people have come back seeing that movie to India to start businesses from the US.
Absolutely. And what
So I love working on life-changing movies. With Aamir, of course, Rangila was life-changing.
Right.
And then Lagan, because his first production was Lagan. I'm working with him on Lahore, which is producing.
Right.
Yeah.
A song from Slumdog Millionaire that is very close to your heart.
Song from Slumdog. Latika's thing.
Okay, and once again, Rajnikant sir and Kamal Hassan sir, you've worked with both of them. Say if you can define the experience of working with them in a word or a sentence.
I think both of them, they're like hydrogen oxygen, let's say, because you need both of them in the industry for the job. So he has a lot of wisdom and spiritual knowledge, and is inclining towards. I'm a big fan of what Mr. Rajnikant does, and the nuggets which he brings from the past, and puts it as words in his movies. With Kamalji, that he's tried everything. He's encyclopedia and almost like a university by himself.
Absolutely.
And so it's good to have somebody like that where we can look up to.
Right, absolutely. A musical genre you haven't explored yet but want to?
I think classical music, Hindustani, Carnatic is such an ocean. The way it was explored before is different, but I feel like there could be more depth and more, not the conventional way of how they used it. And
Right.
I was trying to see how else can they use it in mainstream cinema.
Amazing. A song you wish you had received more recognition? Any song?
Song, you got anything in mind?
I love I mentioned that to you so earlier. Takshak, I think, was an outstanding.
Takshak, okay.
Yeah, I loved it. We
Yeah.
mentioned in the last one. But anything that you...
Uh, I don't know. I just keep doing, because I know that even if people don't listen to now, after 10 years they'll discover it. Work is almost like a treasure for me, because so I'm just representing, we have a collective people putting their hearts out, nights and days working, mixing, playing it, arranging it.
Right.
And so when it comes, people involved in photography, actors, so it'll get its due someday. So I'm never worried about if it doesn't get to you, at least sometimes.
Amazing. So either or, two options if you have to choose one.
No,
Roja or Bombay, which soundtrack is more closer to your heart?
Roja.
Roja, of course. Okay. Slumdog Millionaire 127 hours. Which Hollywood project was more fulfilling for you?
Slumdog.
Slumdog, yeah. Rangila or Dil Se, which soundtrack?
They'll say
Dil Se. Okay, okay. Recording in India or recording in Hollywood? Which environment inspires you more?
India.
Okay. Tal or Lagan, which film's music challenged you more?
Challenging means knowledge.
What a soundtrack. Recently, I think you guys celebrated winning an Academy Award or winning a Grammy, which was a bigger moment for you?
Academy.
Academy, okay. If you have to choose between Ariana Grande and Billie Eilish?
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish, okay. Old school instruments or modern digital tools, which do you prefer using more?
Interesting. Now the modern instruments can be as eclectic as the older, but definitely the old school instruments have a charm.
Okay. Slow ballads or upbeat dance tracks, which do you prefer composing? Personal favorite.
I can say both, right?
Of course.
Both.
Both, okay.
Actually, even the previous answers, both ancient instruments and the new instruments.
Amazing. Guru or Yuva, which Mani Ratnam film and better music according to you?
Better music?
According to you.
Better was, I don't know, but Guru's had more melodies, so
Yeah.
I had fun.
Traditional Indian sounds or Western orchestration, which do you lean towards more?
Traditional Indian sounds with Western orchestration, both.
Amazing. Scoring for an action-packed film or a romantic drama, which gets your creative juices flowing?
Actually, saying both, actually.
Right.
Yeah, I love both.
Okay. Jai Ho or Maa Tujhe Salam, which anthem holds a deeper place in your heart?
Mataji Salam.
Maa Tujhe Salam, of course. What a song. All right. So thank you very much for your time. Lovely talking to you as always. Congratulations for yesterday, and here's to many, many more accolades, and please keep on inspiring us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.